Hi, everyone. We finally got our shade house project in the works here. Um, this is from a structure that someone gave us that they were just going to get rid of. And we decided to, because it was damaged, and we decided to go ahead and turn it into a shade house. We had to take a tent pole that we had from the tent that we used to live in and cut it down to fit inside this pipe here to because we had to cut the bent part out, and then we repaired it with this piece of wood here, and now it's probably stronger than it was initially before anything happened to it. So it's reinforced. You can always use things you have on hand if you don't have a replacement or a way to fix something otherwise. But yeah, this it worked out really well. We had to spend just a little bit of time and a few screws and that tent pole to fix it. But now here we are putting the feet on these poles that will form the upright part of this structure. And a couple of these other ones also had a little bit of damage. A couple of the feet were bent, and the end of one of the poles had a little bit of it gotten smashed a little bit somehow. So we had to go and fix those. But other than that, it was in really good shape, and really a fairly easy project. Here we are putting this pole in the vise here. As you can see, it's smashed a little bit, and you can just take this vise and get it back into enough of a round shape where it will fit in that foot. So that was a fairly easy fix. A little bit of time, but really no more than that. And then a couple of the feet were bent out of shape a little bit. They weren't sitting flat. So here we are just kind of mashing those back. The metal here is kind of thin, so it's easy enough to just bend it back into shape, either using the anvil or, as you'll see here in a minute, this other one had to be put in the vise. It was bent in a weird way where smashing it with the hammer didn't really help it too much against the anvil. So we think maybe whoever had it before, maybe they had a windstorm, or who knows? It just somehow they got damaged, and we had to spend just a little bit of time and energy here to get things back in working order. But super simple, and just a little bit of know-how. So it worked out pretty well. This structure was completely free. The person just gave it to us. They no longer wanted it. So it didn't cost us anything to put this together, aside from a small amount of lumber. As you'll see here, we got 4 pieces of pressure treated wood for this to sit on so that it would have a stable surface to sit on. And we did buy some lag bolts to affix this to the lumber. And we did go ahead and spend about $40 for a shade cloth that will fit over this. We didn't have one that fit properly, so we did get that. So altogether, we spent about $125 to get this structure in place and able to do what we want it to do. So we're very happy about that. I love having the ability to repurpose things and use them for maybe not their originally intended purpose, but for what we would like to use it for. So yeah, it was this was a fun project. I'm enjoying it very much. So and it's been a little bit of a learning experience for me. I'm so glad to have somebody in my life that has the skills and the experience and the know-how to take something like this and turn it into something that we can really use and that will benefit us here. So that's very beneficial. So, and here what we're doing is spending a little bit of time making sure that this structure is level unto itself, so that it is not going to be wonky in any way, like it won't be tilted or off off level in any way, because we are going to be screwing these down to these boards. We want to make sure that everything is square unto itself, even diagonally. We measured it, and we were only about, I think, around a half an inch off all the way around. So really, really close for something that was kind of damaged, and we had to do some repairs. There's that pole that we fixed, and yeah, it turned out really well to my way of thinking, for us to spend a little bit of time and energy and a small amount of money to get these things for it to work well. We also wanted to make sure that, because we do get a little bit of wind here, and sometimes pretty gusty, so we wanted to make sure that it won't blow over. And you'll see here in a minute how we sort of affixed it to the ground so that it have a better, more stable structure. But here we're just trying to make sure that it's level everywhere as much as possible, so that we don't have we don't want it to be wobbly or off kilter or something like that. And so here you just do a little bit of pre-drilling, and then drill a little hole in there, and then take the bolt and affix it. There are 3 holes in each foot, and one bolt goes in each hole. So just to make it really stable, and it really did help the whole thing to just be very stable. So I was happy about that. So there's just a little bit of checking and rechecking, as you always kind of have to do when you have something that has these poles like this, that each one needs to be level. So, but yeah, this is, oh, and here we are pounding these stakes into the ground that we're going to wire the structure to after they get pounded into the ground there. Thankfully, we had some rain, and so it wasn't terribly hard to pound those in there. But yeah, it just takes some pretty heavy duty wire here and attach it. So even if you don't have the exact right thing that you want to use, you can, or that most people might use, you can use things you have around your property, or just think about the possibilities of things that you might be able to use that you don't have to spend a lot of money for. So here's the look of it after we got it all put together. And then we had to come in and trim some of our mesquite trees back, because they're very thorny, and they would tear the shade cloth. So they don't mind being trimmed back like this at all. They will come back vigorously. I think they actually enjoy the little haircut there. And we will take this wood and use it for firewood, kindling, things like that. Some of these branches were even dead, so it was not a problem. It needed to happen anyway, really. So this was all the way around. It took us half of one day and just a little bit of time the next day to do all of this. So it wasn't even really a very labor-intensive project. It was more just the time it took to really fix anything that needed to be repaired, and then make sure everything was level, so that we didn't have any wobbly, ness to the whole structure. So, and then here it is afterwards. And we'll be getting the shade cloth in the next couple of days, and I'll show you the finished project when we get to that point. Thanks, guys.